Hello, everyone, and welcome. This week, I had the honor and pleasure of sitting down with the lawyer for the Spanish Association of Victims of Jehovah's Witnesses, Dr. Carlos Bardavio, and member of the group, Mike Tower. I was shocked to find out the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society had the audacity to take a group of victims to court in order to shut them up and to take money from them. The survivors of this high control group began to band together not only to raise awareness, but also to hold this high control group accountable. My goal was to glean as much information about the case so that we may take some pointers for here in the States and elsewhere if possible. Also, I would love to see us spreading out throughout the XJW community and garnering support while also sharing helpful information about activism. This is the raw footage of the interview, and I hope to edit another video with a bit more clarity for our English speakers, but because time is of the essence, getting this out sooner than later is better. Enjoy. And of course, if there's anything that I ask that you cannot answer or you don't feel comfortable, whatever it is, you just tell me. I understand completely, okay?
Ella dice que si hay alguna cosa que te pregunta que tú no puedes responder por aspectos legales, ella lo entiende perfectamente, así que lo voy a dejar ahí en tus manos para que no te sientas presionado.
Perfecto, perfecto. Lo entiendo y vamos, se lo agradezco.
Would you mind introducing yourself? Mike, would you just mind introducing yourself for the audience?
Me? Myself? Me?
Yes.
I
Yes.
didn't know that
You're
we are
important
live.
too. Well, we're not live, but
Okay,
whenever I put it together, I would love people to know who you are because everybody is concerned.
Yeah, no problem. I'm a formal Jehovah's Witness. I'm graduated of the School of Ministerial Training. I was serving in Bethel, in Chile. I was a pioneer for many years, and in Chile. And I'm living here in the United States right now. I become, I would say, quote, quote, bilingual, and I'm activist for years. I have a channel, a YouTube channel, a blog, everything, and that is in Spanish, and you can find it there. Is Michael Tower is the name.
If you wouldn't mind, at some point before we end the stream, we'll get that information from you, and I'll make sure that I put it into the edited video so everybody can send you love and support and whatnot, okay?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so if you wouldn't mind, I would love to start at the beginning. How did the victims group form?
Ok. Ella está preguntando, quiere saber desde el principio, ¿cómo se forma este grupo de víctimas? Para poder tenerlo claro.
Bien, pues en 2019 constituyeron una asociación de víctimas, Asociación Española de Víctimas de los Testigos de Jehová, a raíz de un grupo de personas que ya se estaban conociendo a través de las redes sociales y al final tomaron la decisión de constituir una asociación, o en este caso la Asociación Española de Víctimas. Y, empezó de forma muy pequeñita, de un grupo de personas que se habían ido conociendo a través de Internet o también por haber dado su testimonio en medios de comunicación.
Okay, so the group started formally in 2019 as an association of victims. It was a group of ex-Jehovah's Witnesses that they were united or communicated through social media in different Facebook groups or forums, as usually we do as friends. But then they saw the importance of make a formality, and they started the group in 2019 as a victims association, Spanish Victim Association.
So was the initial group meant to be as a support group? Is that how it initially started?
If I can answer that, because I know the answer is yes. It's like that.
Okay. I love that because I've joined many ex-Jehovah's Witness groups for support. So I recommend that to everybody in that healing journey to join a group. So what exactly is it that the Watchtower is accusing the victims group of doing?
¿Qué es lo que la sociedad Watchtower está acusando? ¿Cuál es la acusación formal, puntual?
Sí, pues es más que una acusación, es una demanda civil porque entienden que se ha vulnerado el derecho al honor, es decir, la propia autoestima, ¿no?, que tiene la confesión religiosa en España, por varios motivos, que es, el primero es por contener en el nombre de la asociación la palabra víctimas, es decir, Asociación Española de Víctimas de los Testigos de Jehová, y luego por las manifestaciones que se hacen en su página web y en las redes sociales. Por ejemplo, decir que es una secta destructiva, que puede acabar con la vida arruinar a la familia, que puede acabar también con la vida de las personas, es decir, un poco lo que todas las víctimas dicen.
Okay, so it's it's a civil lawsuit against the group, and is based on the honor defense of their own name, of the name of the Watchtower branch in Spain. They say, or they claim, they state that the allegation is the group is going against the good name of the association. Specifically, they have an issue with the name of the association that include the word victim. So they don't want the word victims in the
Right.
name of the title of the association. They have that thing. And in addition to that, they have issues with the content of the status of the website that they have, where it's claimed there that the Jehovah's Witnesses are a dangerous cult that can ruin families and affect the life of people and cause severe damage to all of them. That is a language that was used in order to help the people to try to find or seek some kind of support. It was like that. It was not meant to insult nobody. It was just a description of the situation, especially with the word victims. But that's why they're being sued.
Okay, so this is about, if I'm getting this correctly, this is about them trying to protect their reputation
Exactly. It's a honor.
because that's what they are most concerned with, not victims. The
Absolutely.
Watchtower Bible Tract Society is more concerned with how they look to the outside world. And I'm sure the Jehovah's Witnesses also. Okay. And when did they bring this case against the Victim Association of Jehovah's Witnesses?
You are meaning the date when it was?
Yeah, was this last
Okay.
year? Yeah, when I'm sorry.
¿Cuándo hicieron esta demanda? ¿Te acuerdas tú la fecha?
Sí, esta demanda se presentó en los juzgados de un pueblo cerca de Madrid, pues aproximadamente, al menos le llegó a nuestros clientes para junio del 2021, pero
Okay.
la presentarían un mes o dos antes aproximadamente.
Okay, so it was formally presented in June 2021, but it was developed 2 months earlier. It's just a recent.
Wow. Was it surprising as the group? How did they contact the group? How did the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society reach out? Or did they not? They just took it to court and then somebody from court contacted the association.
No, I understand. I know the answer. Carlos, ¿puedo responder esa pregunta? Está preguntando cómo fueron contactados ellos. ¿Puedo responderle?
Contactados, la asociación, dices. Bueno, ¿contactados por quién?
¿Cómo fue que ellos se enteraron de la demanda? ¿Cómo fue que se presentó? ¿Cómo fue que ellos se dieron cuenta?
Bueno, no sé qué vas a decir, pero no tengo ningún problema en que contestes. Lo normal es que cuando llega la demanda al domicilio social de la asociación, si tú tienes otra información y la quieres decir, no tengo ningún problema. Tampoco es que sepa más, o sea, no sé más de lo que acabo de decir.
Well, the lawyer, Dr. Bardavio, knows that it was formally by mail that they received that, and I know by the first hands, because I know the person, the people involved in that was like that, and they were very surprised. It was kind of a shock at the first moment,
Right.
because they say, I were receiving that because it was kind of it was a bullying act, them. Because it was just a very small group of no more than 12 people, less than that. they
12.
start
Okay.
to receive a massive amount of correspondence or mail. Is basically four lawsuits. One, it was for all the association, and then it was one for three individuals there: the president, the secretary, and the other associate. So they were shocked, and when they received that, they started to let us know. And it was scary, They were very afraid of
Right.
that at 1st. Mm-hmm.
This is a billion-dollar corporation coming up
Yeah,
against a very small group of people who have already been victims to this
exactly.
huge organization. Powerful. Um, so Carlos, how long have you been the representative for the group? I'm guessing since 2021, the entire time.
Yes, sí.
Entonces él
Okay.
está preguntando eso, pero quizás tú le pudieras decir también, Carlos, cómo fue que te contactaste con Enrique.
Sí, pues casualmente ellos ya me conocían porque coincidimos el día que presentaron la asociación ante la sociedad española, una vez constituida, la presentaron en unas conferencias sobre sectas en Zaragoza. Y yo casualmente acudí a esas conferencias porque fui a dar una conferencia sobre las sectas en derecho penal. Ahí nos conocimos y a partir de ahí pues me derivaron clientes, pues testigos de Jehová o testigos de Jehová que tenían alguna consulta, algún caso, y a partir de ahí fue naciendo cierta confianza entre ambas partes hasta que el momento en el que fueron demandados y me contrataron.
Ya te conocían a ti, ¿no es verdad?
Sí, porque en España, vamos, yo creo que tú lo sabes bien, Mike, en España no hay ningún letrado con, digamos, conocimientos en este tipo de problemáticas.
Okay, so the thing was that for Bardavio and Enrique, Israel, that they are the executives of the agency, they knew each other, they meet each other in a series of forums talking about cults and their effects in the people in the city called Zaragoza in Spain,
Okay.
sorry. So in that moment, the first day when they present the association, the Victim Association of Jehovah's Witnesses in Spain, they present themselves as a group that want to, the main objective was to help people. They met Carlos, and in that moment they exchange contact information, and the group start to give him some kind of clients to get some support. So at the time when they received the lawsuit, the only option that they have to call him was Carlos, because in Spain, and like in many other countries, they are not professionals or legal professionals. They know about cults and how they proceed with them.
Wow. So it sounds like Carlos is familiar with how these kind of big organizations, these cults operate. He's a bit familiar with them.
Entonces, Carlos, te pregunta ella si acaso tú estás familiarizado con cómo se manejan o cómo proceden las sectas en general en este aspecto.
Sí, de hecho, eso se debe a que, por casualidades de la vida, cuando terminé la licenciatura en Derecho, pues me aventuré a hacer el doctorado en Derecho Penal y me aconsejó mi director de tesis hacerla sobre las sectas en Derecho Penal, porque nadie en España había escrito sobre eso, nadie. O sea, había algunas cosas, pero muy menores. De hecho, luego me di cuenta, haciendo la tesis doctoral, que realmente a nivel mundial, al menos en lengua española o castellana, no hay ninguna tesis en derecho penal. O sea, hay en psicología, en sociología, pero en derecho penal no había nada. Eso me alegró mucho, fue un reto, pero también fue una dificultad porque no hay mucho escrito a nivel mundial en lengua castellana. En inglés no hay muchas cosas tampoco en derecho penal exactamente como derecho penal. Lo cual pues, me llevó a 10 años de tesis doctoral combinada con mi función, ¿no?, de abogado y sorprendentemente pues me llevó a una tesis doctoral de 1000 páginas. 1000 páginas porque creí que era necesario pues intentar resolver de la mejor manera posible todas las problemáticas que tienen. Por lo tanto, sí conozco
Déjalo ahí
perfectamente.
para traducir. Déjalo ahí para traducir.
Sí,
Porque
que-
mucho gusto
sí,
para traducir. Okay, so
sí,
I will try to summarize.
pero
Okay.
tú lo sabes bien, tú sabes bien ya la
I know.
idea. You know
I'm
the
sure you'll
idea.
do great.
Okay.
Okay, I
I'm
will try.
sure.
Is this when Carlos finished his bachelor's and then start his master's? After he end the graduate school, he consult with one of his mentors or professors there about what it will be a good theme to make a doctor degree. So the doctor, I mean the professor told him that a good theme will be put attention in cults, but considering the penal or what is the word for that? The criminal
Criminal.
law, criminal
Yes.
law, because it was on many information. I mean, it was many studies, so at least a number of studies that goes to the anthropologic point of view, psychologic point of view, maybe medical stuff, but nothing about criminal law. And even in the Spanish world, there are none of them. I mean, nothing was reading. I mean, or at least if we can be honest, or Carlos can be very honest, it's nothing that he was aware of some study about that criminal law related with cult, how they can be, it can be an issue that need to be addressed. So after that, he decided to go that way, but he had the difficult that was not any study available for him. So he went to that path, and he spent 10 years on his doctor study. So his thesis was 10 years and result in a book that is available on internet. I will make that kind of thing. He didn't
Yeah,
say that, but it's
make sure
available.
you
Exactly. He will provide the link, but it's available. You can get it. It's a doctoral thesis about criminal law. It's in English, though. I mean, it's in Spanish. We need to translate that in English. But it's 1,000 pages. It's very technical. I read, I mean, a big bunch of that. But it's easy to understand, and maybe the different bodies of law in different countries are different, but the main core is there, easily to understand, and we can extrapolate things in different countries. But we can say that he's an expert criminal law regarding cults for that thesis that he presented.
wow.
He's a PhD right now of criminal law for that.
That's amazing. I am so thankful to hear that the Victims Association had such good representation. That makes me feel like so much makes me feel relief because we're very worried. Um so is this unprecedented? Like have you heard of this before? These kind of cases, Carlos? A
¿Has
big
oído estos
church?
casos antes o es primera vez que te encuentras con un caso así?
Realmente el caso es un caso civil realmente sencillo. Sencillo porque es o se vulnera o no se vulnera el honor de la confesión religiosa. Lo que tiene el trasfondo, un trasfondo de víctima, de tantas víctimas, puesto que en verdad ahora mismo solo está demandada la asociación, pero presentamos en su día, y tú lo sabes bien, Mike, 70 testimonios de víctimas en 20 días. Y por lo que sé, hay grupos de WhatsApp aquí en España que podemos estar hablando de unas 1000. Por lo tanto, sí que es el caso, digamos, a lo mejor más importante que estoy llevando, pero por la trascendencia del número de potenciales víctimas.
Entiendo. So the thing here is that basically, technically, a simple case. Because here the only thing that it needs to be determined if the law for a good name or reputation of the Jehovah's Witness branch in Spain is being vulnerable I mean, it's being affected or not. That is
Right.
easy to prove or disprove. So that is a simple thing. But the complexity of this, or something that is new or non-precedent have no precedent for Carlos, is the number of people affected. Because at the moment of being presented, the testimony of witnesses that need to talk about that, from the point of view of the victims, they were able to get 70 cases in 2 days, immediately. And in addition to that, there are a number of WhatsApp WhatsApp groups or Facebook groups that count in the hundreds. So put it all together, we are talking about maybe 1,000 of victims in Spain that they are ready to present their testimony of. That's the new thing or a non-precedent for him.
Okay, so is this basically a case of like slander or libel? That's what the Watchtower is trying to claim, that their name is being slandered, it's libel. But if there is truth to the claims, they don't have any recourse. I hope I asked that right.
The question again.
No problem. Are the Jehovah's Witnesses, the organization, trying to say they are being slandered, but does the law protect the victims because it's true? These are these are actual facts that happened to them.
I will Carlos answer that question. La pregunta es la siguiente, ella dice, la secta, perdón, el grupo de los testigos de Jehová está reclamando de que su nombre o su reputación ha sido puesta en tela de juicio y ha sido dañada. Entonces, esto puede ser probado o no puede ser probado, pero la pregunta ¿es que esto puede ser probado si se demuestra cuál es la situación actual? ¿Se podría probar de que hay víctimas en realidad y que ustedes simplemente están presentando hechos que son demostrables?
Pues sí, claro, esa es la idea. La idea es lo que hemos hecho. El juicio ya ha terminado. Y durante las 5 sesiones, que ha durado, como tú bien sabes, cada sesión 8 o 9 horas, lo que hemos hecho es presentar todas las pruebas que teníamos, que son, en definitiva, no solo una cuestión de veracidad, que con eso nos bastaría para ganar, es decir, algo que la asociación se basa sobre algo, se basa sobre algo que le han dicho las víctimas, ¿de acuerdo? Pero es que además de eso hemos tratado de probar la verdad, es decir, y creo que lo hemos conseguido, es decir, 70 víctimas han declarado, unas 58 por escrito, más 12 ante el tribunal, contando atrocidades de todo tipo. Han contado encubrimientos de abusos sexuales, han contado dominio de la voluntad, han contado encubrimiento de malos tratos. Eso me lo puede preguntar y se lo puedo aclarar, pero la respuesta efectivamente es afirmativa. Es no solo la veracidad, sino también la verdad.
So, Carlos is saying that over on the table the facts that they have. They still need to make the deliberation because the court case, if I can say that. What is the word in English? I don't know. What's the word, but
Trial?
Trial, yeah, that's the
Trial,
word.
okay.
The trial end already. So now they are in the process of getting a conclusion for that. That is the thing. But the thing that they did as organization, as association, has been presenting the truth that they have. I mean, about 50 people writing
58
testimony,
and 12.
Wow.
and 12 personally talking with them, talking about a variety of different situations that include sexual abuse, coercion,
No,
say that manipulation,
todo que cuentan las víctimas, que es muy similar entre ellas.
everything that they can talk, and this is a very coherent testimony that was very easily to see that it was not prepared, that it was like that. And in addition to that, they presented what the Watchtower was saying in their own patients. It's a combination of two things. I mean, a testimony in writing is the thing that they say, organization,
Right.
and the effect on the people. So they present the situation that they say this to feel, and they are confident that is the truth, and we are hoping that the judge will a solution or a conclusion about that.
I'm sure that because Carlos is a expert in cults, and Mike, I'm sure that you know too, because you've lived the life, that these organizations are very familiar with how to control and manipulate the propaganda to make it seem as though they're saying one thing, but when you read their publications, it is exactly outlined how they feel about keeping children silent, keeping women silent, just obeying directions, not asking questions. Um, I'm sorry, that was more of a statement. But do you want to do you want to tell them what I said? I'm sorry.
Ya luego me cuentas, Mike, por qué se ríe.
Ya está diciendo lo mismo, se está riendo por lo mismo. Dice que del mismo modo que nosotros nos damos cuenta que ustedes presentaron estos testimonios, te puedes dar cuenta en las publicaciones cómo es que ellos dicen una cosa, ¿ya? Pueden afirmar abiertamente en público que están haciendo algunas cosas, sin embargo, el resultado final es que hay coerción, en que se obliga a las personas a simplemente obedecer, en donde se anula la opinión de las mujeres, por ejemplo, o de los niños que tienen que hacer tal o cual cosa, y qué sugerencias son obligaciones e imposiciones del culto.
Sí, es que coméntale que es decir, lo que hemos visto en el juicio es un conglomerado de posibles de indicios de criminalidad por a los ancianos, quizá indicios de vínculos con la sucursal nacional, es decir, lo que han contado las víctimas, de un conglomerado de delitos enorme. Es decir, no estamos hablando de uno, de dos o tres, es un conglomerado de delitos que van desde la psique, ¿no? la libertad, la integridad psíquica, pero luego también cuestiones, digamos, de encubrimientos, de delitos y también cuestiones económicas.
Ahora, eso lo haces tú a partir desde tu propia perspectiva como experto en
No,
materia penal.
lo dicen las víctimas. Las víctimas han declarado toda su vida dentro de la congregación. Es decir, hay gente que ha declarado que había estado 40 años o 50.
Yo
La
entiendo, pero
mayoría,
me refiero tu declaración de decir que estos son delitos, básicamente, está basado en tu propia percepción como abogado experto en el tema.
claro, porque cuando yo digo indicios es cuando una chica, por ejemplo, dijo que denunció unos abusos sexuales y los ancianos le dijeron que no denunciase, que mejor lo pusiera en manos de Jehová. Es decir, eso a una... Sí.
Déjame traducir a partir de ahí. Yeah, well, after your statement saying that the patient say one thing and then the result in the life of the people is absolutely the opposite. When they say something, we need to obey. Carlos said that during the trial was the testimony of different matters, different aspects of all parts of life that he, as an expert in law, was able to see was signs or evidence of crimes or criminal activity. And that thing involves, for example, obstruction to the justice, hide crimes to the authorities, have contact between the elders, local elders, with the administration, the upper administration branch. But at the same time, they have, we know that they have a communication with the headquarters in the United States. So presented, it was presented a case, for example, that a female, a lady, that she talked about sexual abuse. The elders said to her that instead of going to the law, it's in Jehovah's hands.
Mm-hmm.
He was able
Right.
to, as professional in criminal law, he was able to see different parts where the law was broken.
Wow. Leave it in Jehovah's hands. Children are being, right. Children are being harmed, and there's a culture of cover up. There's a culture of silence. You're meant to just always leave it in Jehovah's hands. And we see that leads to more and more children and people, other abuses, not just sexual, all kinds of different abuses, emotionally, mentally, physically, that happen inside of the Watchtower organization. Quick question about when it comes to the goal of the Watchtower in suing the Victims Association to get them to remove the name victims, were they also trying to get money?
Aparte del objetivo que ellos intentan de silenciar y terminar con la organización, ¿intentan ellos obtener algún tipo de beneficio económico?
Pues sí, pero dijeron que podrían haber pedido 360.000 euros, que debe ser más o menos $320.000, calculo, más así a bote pronto. Y que por hacernos un favor iban a pedir, pidieron solo 25.000 euros y lo pidieron en el último momento, sin ninguna prueba. Y yo les contesté que si lo que les pasaba por este procedimiento, si lo que les pasaba es que necesitaban dinero, que yo gustosamente les pondría los 25.000 euros. Es decir, si todo el procedimiento es por 25.000 euros, que yo les pongo los 25.000 euros.
So they say to them, well, they say, I will quote them, we could ask for about $300,000 for all the damage that you are producing to us, making to us. But we will do an exception for you guys, and we will just charge you $20,000. We're good people, basically. So it was so funny that Carlos make a statement there, that it was kind of a ironic statement that Carlos says, well, if you need that money, I can give you the money right now. So what is the problem with that? But the thing is that the point here was how arbitrary was that kind of money that they asked. They say that they could ask for $300,000, but because they are good people, they will just ask for $20,000.
That to me sounds like propaganda. Like they're trying to like they're trying to do something nice for you, but obviously they're not being nice at all. They just shouldn't even be taking these people to court in the first place.
Entonces ellos
Wowzers.
como básicamente intentan hacer como propaganda de que ellos son muy buena gente, de que en vez de cobrar toda la cantidad de plata que tenían, van a cobrar menos, porque son buena gente.
Sí, pero lo que quieren es quitar la palabra víctimas, que eso parece ser que les quita clientela de alguna manera. Pero no han aportado ninguna prueba al respecto de que se haya, digamos, rebajado, porque no quieren enseñar las cuentas de cuánto han podido perder. Porque a lo mejor no están perdiendo dinero, igual están ganando, no se sabe.
Good point that Carlos says, that the main goal for them is to remove the word victims in the name. They claim that they have been economically affected through that decision of putting name, but in the same time, they don't show any kind of statement, no financial proof, any kind of document that shows numbers, only to say that that particular name affect them in a amount of money. Don't say that. It's an affirmation, statement.
It It is such an arbitrary number. Like, where did they pull 300,000? And then they were attempting to, was this an attempt at settling outside of court? Sorry, were they trying to avoid going to trial?
I will ask him. ¿Tú crees que esta baja o rebaja fue una forma de tratar de obtener un acuerdo fuera de la corte para que no lo llevaran al caso o algo así?
No, yo creo que es porque ellos creen que en una alta probabilidad van a perder. Y entonces, cuanto menos dinero pidas, las costas, es decir, lo que tienen que pagar por abogados a la asociación de víctimas, es decir, mis servicios, va a ser mucho menos. Es decir, cuanto más dinero hubiesen pedido, más dinero en costas hubieran tenido que pagar a la asociación de víctimas por el concepto de abogado, ¿no? De profesionales, abogado y procurador. Por lo tanto, también lo han bajado porque pensaban, creo yo, que van a perder y por lo tanto, si piden una cantidad de 25.000 euros, las costas por 25.000 euros son 5.000 euros, más o menos, 5 o 6.000 euros.
So, Bardavio says or believes that it's arbitrary lower number because they feel or they are sure that they will lose lawsuit. So in that case, if they need to pay something, it will be a related amount with the amount that they are asking for. So if they are asking for 20,000, maybe they need to pay 5,000 or something like that in case of.
Wow. So how are you feeling about the verdict? Did you both walk away from the trial? Excuse me. How do you feel waiting for the verdict? Do you feel like it's going to go in any particular way?
I got that, but I would like to ask you something that maybe is interesting for the audience.
Sure.
Carlos, ¿tú nos puedes contar, por favor, ese tema de que había una conversación de parte de ellos en donde en vez de presentar 4 querían sumarla en una? ¿Cómo fue eso?
Ah, claro. Esa es buena pregunta. Ellos, como tú bien has explicado algo en inglés antes, le mandaron a la asociación, también al presidente, en otra demanda, al secretario y a un administrador de redes sociales. 4 demandas. Cuando vieron nuestra contestación a la demanda de la asociación, posteriormente a verla, dijeron, no, pidieron a los juzgados hacer todos esos 4 procedimientos en uno. Y todos los juzgados lo han rechazado, excepto uno que aún no se ha pronunciado, pero vamos, casi seguro. Y esto yo creo que es una maniobra de un fallo, porque yo en la contestación a la demanda vine a decir que lo que decían ellos en la demanda a la asociación se estaba también demandando al presidente, al secretario y al administrador de redes sociales por las mismas manifestaciones, las mismas. Por lo tanto, ellos, en un intento desesperado de evitar perder los otros 3 casos, intentaron acumularlo en uno. Esa es mi opinión.
Well, it's important to know that, something. Talk about 4 lawsuits, different ones. Okay? The difference.
4 lawsuits, did you say?
4
Sorry, I
lawsuits.
want to make sure.
4.
Okay,
4.
I didn't realize.
Was one for the association, the big Spanish. No, will be the translation. It will be Spanish Victim Association of Jehovah's Witnesses. And it was for that. Then it was for the president, secretary, and the social media manager.
Yes.
Okay.
And the difference between the 4 of them is just the name of the people. Everything was exactly the same. It was a copy paste, and the only thing that changed was the name of the. So when they saw the answer of Dr. Bardavio or the legal department of the association, yes, Dr. Bardavio says that maybe they were surprised of the power, the contundence of the answer, that they immediately tried to condense the 4 in just one. They take a step back and they say, okay, will not do the 4 ones. They will make just one, not 4, because they see that it was exactly try to put all together. After that, so the different court cases deny that thing. So they say no, we will not do that, and we will just go with the 4th one. So whatever the result is, it will be a 4-time answer, basically, because it's the same.
Oh, okay. So they still have to answer for each case, but they had it all.
Exactly. That it will be the
Wow.
same thing, but 4 times, not just one. So if they lost one, it will be the same process again and again and again and again. It's 4 times. So they
Wow.
say, "Oh, maybe we will lose." So we're trying to put just one moment of shame instead of 4.
Okay. If this goes unwell for the Watchtower organization, is there any possible repercussions for the Spanish Association of Victims to go up against Watchtower now? If they wanted to. Sorry. Did I ask that okay?
No. The first word I didn't understand is the goes good or bad to the Watchtower.
If it goes bad against the Watchtower, like let's say it gets thrown out, whatever happens, would the victims be able to now, like, because it was a frivolous loss, I don't even know, I'm not sure of the law, but would that be considered a frivolous lawsuit and the victims now be able to sue the Watchtower? Or is
No, I
is that a
understand.
dumb question?
No, I understand. Carlos, si la organización de los testigos de Jehová pierden la demanda en favor de la asociación de víctimas, ¿crees que esto le daría a la asociación de víctimas la posibilidad de contrademandarlos por lo
Claro,
pasado?
exactly. This is the key, ¿no? De la clave, ¿no? Esa es la clave. Es decir, si la asociación de víctimas gana, muchas víctimas van a coger fuerza, seguramente, mucha fuerza para reclamar sus derechos. Por lo tanto, vamos a esperar ese momento, ¿no? Reclamar sus derechos civil o penalmente. O sea, pero aquí lo importante es que las víctimas cojan seguridad. Esto es un momento muy importante de que cojan seguridad y fortaleza y que en todo caso se organicen, porque si no, que demande una sola por aquí y otra sola por allá, pues son como miguitas y donde puedes ganar, pero al final, si ganamos esta sentencia, vamos, estoy repitiendo lo mismo que antes, en definitiva, van a coger muchas fuerzas, y yo creo que algo se van a organizar.
The answer is yes. That is the point.
Awesome. So there could be a whole nother trial case of.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are going to be. Oh no! I bet
Oh
she
no!
accidentally.
Oh no! Mike, where are you?
Where'd
Where
you go, Mike? It was probably an accident.
I know. I hope no accident. Accident.
Yeah, not that kind of accident.
We can wait. We can wait. Mike, it's possible. Yes.
Yes, that is absolutely fine.
I asked for Mike. What happened about internet? Or one moment, please.
Sure, thank you.
One minute.
No problem.
Okay. Because Mike is a famous YouTuber, famous more or less. Many subscriptors like you in Spanish language about this case, about this problematic. I knew him because I he wants to interview with me, and I talk about this case two weeks ago, more or less, and it's very important. All victims and the liar and all speak about this problematic, because I think there are many victims around the world, and the important is the organization these victims. And it's not very important in court, court. One victim is important, okay? I know, but the court only understand this problematic in Spain or United States or Mexico or whatever you want, if the victims can do one organization, in association, in one organization in all countries, for ask for the rights, and this is the only form, I think, the court in United States, in Spain, in Mexico, in Venezuela, understand the general, the all problematics. You understand me more or less?
Right. Yes, I do understand.
Okay.
But do you?
Mike, no, you can ask me, but Mike haven't internet now.
Okay.
Okay, if you want, tell me one question, and if I understand, I can I can answer. Can you speak slowly?
Absolutely.
Okay.
What are the laws like when it comes to protecting children? Are there statutes of limitations when it comes to bringing a case forward when it's happened 12 years ago, 10 years ago? Are there a
Okay.
statute of limitations?
Okay. Give me 1 minute, because I think one person near to me, she can translate your answer, your ask. Okay, one more.
Oh, wait, I think Mike might be
Yeah, I'm
back.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Mike Tower. Thank you very much.
Sorry
You
for that.
made it, Mike.
Yeah, fine.
Mike.
I did.
Yay.
So, what was? But I don't know. I forgot.
I forget where we left off, actually. I don't even
But the
remember.
thing, okay. But the thing is, basically, Carlo was saying that as you say, if the association, the victim association, wins the trial, it will give
Mhm.
the force to other people to get reunited, or put together different lawsuits against the Watchtower, trying to get the rights for the civil law and criminal laws too. Because in this way it will be a demonstration that it's possible to get the justice that they need, basically.
Right.
So it will be like the
Okay.
same.
So unfortunately, the entire thing sucks that this had to happen, but there could be a silver lining in that victims might be able to now have their day in court to go up these against the high control religions like the Watchtower.
Claro, entonces quizás es un asunto agridulce, no es muy grato ir a la corte y todo, pero puede tener un final feliz para todas las víctimas. ¿Sí?
Es que si las víctimas no denuncian, nunca hay sentencias. De hecho, lo más llamativo de los testigos de Jehová es que, por lo que me cuentan las propias víctimas, la mayoría no denuncian por muchos motivos, por el cierto miedo al poco contacto que tiene con el familiar, ese poco contacto aún perderlo más, ¿no? Por ejemplo, ¿no? Y otros motivos. Entonces, aquí se mezcla eso, el que las víctimas tradicionalmente no han denunciado o han denunciado de una manera muy incorrecta, o aisladamente o solitariamente, lo cual ha llevado a casos muy aislados, que los hay, muy importantes, pero que no acaba de comprenderse la dinámica general de acuerdo de esta problemática.
Claro. So he said that the problem with this is that if nobody denounce the thing in the legal action or make a lawsuit, nobody will ever get any result. And historically, the Jehovah's Witnesses are a group of people that they never say anything. And the main reason for that maybe is caused or is based on the disfellowship laws that can separate you from all the family or all the people that you have. So basically, it's that kind of action against the people that make that many of us basically never say anything. But although there is some stories of success of lawsuit, it's always an individual action against a corporation. Sometimes they we have a good term, but it's never a collective action against that. And that, for that reason, basically the public opinion doesn't have idea of what's the dynamics inside of the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yes, like I've said, it's a culture. There is a certain dynamic that you don't understand unless you're living it every day, which I'm sure you understand, Mike, obviously.
Exacto. No, ya, no. Ella dice que exactamente esto es una cultura interior de una secta que para poder entenderla bien tienes que haber vivido dentro de ella para poder entender la cabalidad. Por supuesto, ahora que tú ya sabes un poco más, estás más al tanto, pero generalmente la gente no tiene idea de lo que es, a menos que lo viva.
Claro, y luego solo quería poner un apunte más, porque lo que pase, digamos, aisladamente en un país, vamos a poner el caso de Canadá, el caso, por ejemplo, de Estados Unidos con esta sentencia del Tribunal Supremo que rechaza digamos, la petición de los testigos de Jehová. Tú sabes de este caso que hemos comentado hoy de Tribunal
Pensilvania.
Supremo, ¿no? Claro, son
Sí.
casos que van siendo aislados, ¿no? O sea, Canadá, en Estados Unidos, Candas Conti, la Royal Commission, al final se comprobaron entre 10 y 20. Sí, que son casos muy importantes, pero hay que hacer cierta coordinación porque lo que pasa en Estados Unidos no se conoce en España. Lo que pasa en España no se conoce en Estados Unidos. Eso es un problema.
Claro. Okay. ¿Tú crees que ahora con las redes sociales sea posible hacer algo así?
Totalmente, pero si las víctimas no denuncian organizadamente en cada país lo que les ha pasado y luego eso, ojo, y eso luego se comunica a través de otros países y todo
Sí.
focalizado hacia Estados Unidos, no hay no hay muchas oportunidades.
Entiendo. So, Carlos says that we have some kind of different actions taken by individuals in different countries. In the United States, we know the case in Australia. Now the situation that with the Supreme Court in Pennsylvania, things like that,
Yes.
and things that we know because we are interested in the thing, but the public opinion is unable to make a match between a case in Spain, in the United States, in Canada, in whatever the different countries. So he said that the next step is to put things together and try to make coordinated actions. So in this way, it will have more force that can lead to something directed to the branch in the United States.
I think ultimately that's the goal for most of us who, I'll try to put this simply, but many of us, like myself, am just waking up. I've been woken up for about 2.5, 3 years now.
Oh wow!
So
Yeah.
so I'm new. I'm really new to this, but my goal and the friends that I've connected with, we would love to start pushing towards more activism because ultimately the reason we're speaking out is so people are aware of the harms that are happening behind closed doors. And these people are sent to our homes. these pedophiles are knocking on our doors, right? They have access to children. And everybody, regardless of your religion, you can have your religion, you're entitled to your religion, but everybody should be made aware of what is coming to your home and interacting with your children on a daily basis.
Exacto, exacto. So, lo que ella está diciendo es lo siguiente, ella dice que ella tiene la misma opinión tuya, Carlos, de que hay que hacer activismo que está dirigido para abrir la opinión pública al conocimiento de lo que está pasando y a las autoridades también, debido al hecho de que, por ejemplo, personas que han abierto los ojos en tiempo tan reciente como ella, que lleva 2 años en infracción, al tanto de estos temas, quiere dar a conocer estos hechos para que otras personas también sepan lo que está ocurriendo y que también existe el riesgo de que la persona que como testigo de Jehová toca la puerta pueda ser también un pedófilo. Y esto es debido a que la política pública no avisa quién es y quién no es. Por lo tanto, existe un riesgo claro, potencial, de que la persona que está tocando tu puerta en realidad tenga este tipo de conductas y que ponga en riesgo a los niños. Por lo tanto, eso es lo que hay que poner en práctica para poder darlo a conocer, para que las personas sepan lo que está ocurriendo, lo que está pasando.
Sí, y por eso estamos aquí los tres hoy. Yo creo que, sobre todo tú, Mike, muy gentilmente, la verdad es que abusando de ti, de tu tiempo, la verdad es que te lo agradezco mucho. También aquí ella y yo también, pues intentando pues esa labor preventiva. Por lo tanto, tenemos que trabajar en eso, porque, claro, yo accedí o me contacté con ella porque no había visto a nadie en Estados Unidos que, quiero decir, de habla inglesa. O sea, yo sé, Mike, tú a lo mejor has hecho algún vídeo, pero no lo he visto. Pero en definitiva me interesó ella porque creo que tiene mucha fuerza, va a crecer su comunicación y es de habla americana, habla inglesa, y yo creo que el comunicarnos, como decía anteriormente, va a ser muy importante, ¿no? Como labor preventiva.
Well, Carlos says that is basically the word that you express, the reason why we are here, because we are trying to do a preventive action in order to let people know what's going on. And he was able to, he was willing to meet with you because in order to go to the communication out of Spain or out of the Spanish world, an activist that speaks in English, like you, that it seems like you are very effective in communicate with a big amount of people. That's why we are talking to you right now, because in this way you will have access to talk about the situation to the English world, to the activism in English that is very active. I know for sure. I know for years. I always watch the thing as an spectator. I never participate in the English activism, but just in the Spanish world. But in this time, with this important lawsuit, Carlos saying that we want to communicate with you, that you can communicate the thing to the English activists.
Absolutely. If there's anything ever that I can help with, I'm absolutely willing to do it. I was telling the community that I would be here talking to you. So they had questions they were giving to me. And they also wanted to know, is there any way they can support the victims? Is there anything that they can do? Just as someone to talk to, whatever. We've been waiting on like the edge of our seats about this. We're like, we want to know what's happening. We're so proud of you all, really.
Bueno, ella está diciendo que está bien contenta de poder ayudar, está honrada de poder ayudar, y que cualquier cosa que ustedes necesiten como grupo, ella está dispuesta a poder comunicarla, a poder dar apoyo, soporte. Si hay una persona, perdón, oídos para oír, están ellos dispuestos a escuchar y para también coordinar y aportar lo que ustedes necesiten.
Pues dile que seguro que le voy a pedir
For sure. For sure.
como tú, Mike, exactamente, y a muchos otros, porque si no, sí que es imposible. Es decir, si no tiramos de la gente que tiene ganas, con fuerza, etcétera, etcétera. A lo mejor hoy no llega mucha gente, pero a lo mejor mañana sí que llega. Entonces, a mí, yo creo que a ella, a ti, una hora de nuestra vida para explicar lo que pasa o lo que conocemos y que se comunique en este mundo castellano, español e inglés es muy importante. Así que dile que cuente con que le voy a pedir favores y que también me puede pedir a mí. Y igualmente voy a seguir abusando de ti, Mike, todo lo que, en el buen sentido de la palabra, todo lo que me dejes.
Sin problema. Well, he said that for sure. I mean, count with that. That he will count with you. He will ask you for help and support when it's important, especially to communicate ideas, because he thinks that when we have people that is willing to give time for this action, maybe 1 hour, in order to communicate things like that, it will be very helpful for people. Maybe now we can communicate to a few people, but in the future, more and more will come, and I'm hoping to personally that the Jehovah's Witness Association it will be declining year after year, and more brothers and sisters will be in a situation that they will need help. They will need answers, support, all the things that we have when we are in the shock of getting out of our life. So that's why it's important the communication, the worldwide communication between you and me, and in the English word, Spanish word, in all the different languages, because we are all basically suffering the same abuse, the same code.
We've lived very similar lives. We might not all have exactly the same, but we're very well versed in what life is like when somebody is controlling your thoughts, your actions, your job, your wife, your husband, like everything that we do, it down to the letter is controlled. So regardless if I know you or don't know you, I know you.
Yeah, and this is a real proof that we were living in a cult, because we as Jehovah's Witness react the same under the same stimuli. So that's why I always talk about ourselves like social clones. So basically, that is the thing that we are. We react the same, regardless the country, the language, the culture, the level of education. We are basically the same. I'm talking to you 5 minutes, and I know all your life because I know how it is.
But see, that's the thing. The Watchtower expects that. They've raised us to be docile, to be sheep, to listen, to not question, shut our mouths. And I'm finally at a point in my life where I am no longer afraid of Watchtower. I am no longer afraid to question. And in fact, I get so infuriated that I can't help but to speak out because they just piss me off, and I'm not afraid of them anymore. So even though they expect us to be docile, I think that they should be very mindful that there's plenty of us starting to organize, becoming well aware. And I hope together we can start moving towards holding them accountable and changing laws so we can prevent this stuff from happening in the first place. Sorry, I said a lot there.
Ella está diciendo que tal como voy a tratar de resumir, de que el hecho de que nosotros reaccionemos como estamos reaccionando es el resultado de un entrenamiento de básicamente manipulación mental, en donde el cuerpo gobernante, los dirigentes de la secta de los testigos de Jehová, esperan que reaccionemos del modo en que ellos quieren, sin cuestionar, sin hablar, sin responder, quedarnos en silencio, simplemente obedecer. Pero gradualmente, cuando las personas salen, y en el caso de ella, por ejemplo, en donde ella, después de salir y abrir los ojos, ya no se puede quedar callada y tiene cierto sentimiento de enojo y frustración, que es justo, por supuesto, en donde ella va a seguir hablando acerca de estos temas para darlos a conocer a toda la comunidad, y que ella espera que más y más personas también se unan en este movimiento para hablar acerca de estas cosas.
Pues ya, dile que estoy totalmente de acuerdo que le pediré información de la que disponga en Estados Unidos, que me dé la que pueda, puesto que cualquier información puede ser vital para casos en España o en otros países, como por ejemplo hay asociaciones de víctimas en México, en Argentina y en Brasil que yo conozco ahora mismo, se está constituyendo en Italia, y yo estoy asesorando en algunas de ellas jurídicamente. Por lo tanto, la información que venga de Estados Unidos es vital también para estas asociaciones que se están constituyendo en estos países.
Carlos says that he will count on you for all the information that you have available from your sources, because it will be an important way to support all different organizations and of victims that they are being created right now in this moment in different countries like Argentina, Brazil, Italy, Mexico. This is very important.
Wow.
So whatever the information that you have is important. Let me tell you something. Voy a decir algo yo, Carlos.
Sí, claro. No, tú puedes hablar tú lo que quieras ya, porque yo ya creo que he terminado.
I will say something. Mexico branch is crucial. It's a key there in the world because
I've heard. Okay.
it's the second in number after the United States, and the people there needs to know, because we know that many of Jehovah's Witnesses in Mexico, they're very sincere people that really believe things like that, but they don't know. If they were aware of the situations, believe me that it will be a big change. And now there is an organization of victims that is in the process to be formed that will have a big impact. And from there, from Mexico to all the different countries in Latin America. And that's important. And as Carlos says, is being in the process of being formed a new one in Italy. So
that's awesome. I love hearing that. Are these all the same name? Are they all going under the Association of Victims of Jehovah's Witnesses? Excuse me.
Carlos, ¿tienen todas el mismo nombre, más o menos, básicamente?
A ver, en Argentina sí. Esa asociación.
Yeah.
En Brasil creo que no, es decir, es más generalista, creo. No pone la palabra víctimas, creo que no pone la palabra víctimas. En México se está constituyendo una, que se constituye en un mes o 2 meses, y están debatiendo si poner la palabra víctimas o no. Y luego hay otra constituida ya que no tiene la palabra víctimas, pero más allá de eso, lo importante es que se unan víctimas a esas asociaciones.
Okay, well, no, it doesn't have the same name. In some cases, they have it, like in Argentina, for example, they put the name Argentina, and some of them use the word victim or not, victims or not. But the important thing is that all the victims are all together under the organizations, to do that. Now, my personal approach is that if they make a big deal for the name victims, I think that the name victim should be there. That is my opinion.
I agree.
Yes, I understand. I agree.
You agree too, yeah. He's like, go for it. Make them angry, make them feel some kind of way. I like to piss off Watchtower. Sorry.
Yeah.
We're at an hour and 10 minutes. I don't want to keep too much of your time, but I did have a couple more questions. Have you both heard of the Public Information Department that the Watchtower has created?
¿Has escuchado hablar del Departamento de Asuntos Públicos de la Watchtower, tú, Carlos?
Pues no, tengo que decir que me imaginaba que había un departamento de este estilo, porque al final pues ahí, tiene mucho dinero, ¿no? Esta confesión, pero no, y que me asesoren lo que era conveniente. Y tú igualmente, Mike, lo que quieras decir aquí, tú sabes más que, más que yo.
No, Jiré.
Well, just quickly, so you both know, the Watchtower has formed this department called the Public Information Department, and they basically will be running campaigns, good PR campaigns, because they're trying to combat all of the negative PR that is coming from places like Spain, out of Norway, Sweden, everywhere. So now they're trying to get ahead of the game and put good news pieces out there to kind of cover over the apostate, what they call the apostate news.
So in the media, you say, the public media?
They've created their own department that they will now. So say I work for the department, I'll contact this news station and this news station. I'll say, hey, we're having a convention. You should come by
Okay.
and see how
Okay, okay.
amazing the Jehovah's Witnesses are.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Bueno, en estos momentos la organización Watchtower está desarrollando, tiene un departamento de asuntos públicos que se ocupa de las relaciones públicas ahora para poder contrarrestar la ola de mala fama que han tenido en distintas partes del mundo, como en Europa, en Noruega, ahora en España. Y de este modo, por ejemplo, contactan a medios de comunicación diciéndoles, mira, tenemos una convención, vengan a ver lo fantásticos que somos nosotros y lo buena gente que somos. Eso es para poder contrarrestar la ola de malas noticias.
Bueno, pues no sé si les va a servir cuando lo que hablamos, cuando las víctimas sepan organizarse a través de asociaciones o de cualquier otro modo, que es la clave. Es decir, al final eso va a tener más peso cuando se organice.
Well, he said that I don't know how much useful will be when the victims start to put things together and get organized in order to let them the truth to the people.
That's basically the reason they've started that department, because they're trying to combat all of the victims who are now speaking out. So, in my opinion, it's encouragement to know that they are afraid of individual victims simply just speaking out and letting people know the abuses that they're hiding. So speaking out works, basically. It's working.
Exacto. Ella está diciendo que, bueno, que por lo visto la organización está acusando recibo y por eso es que desarrolla este tipo de departamentos, porque se dan cuenta del daño que puede ocasionar una denuncia individual o de algunas personas y por eso están creando este tipo de acciones de relaciones públicas. Por lo tanto, hay que hablar, porque hablar causa efectos, siempre sirve y ellos están demostrando que les está doliendo.
Exactamente, así que sigamos hablando. Yo creo que, no digo ahora, sino sigamos con el canal de ella, el tuyo, que son magníficos y la labor que hacéis es muy importante. Así que espero que en España ganemos la sentencia, que podamos volver a reunirnos aquí para explicar qué es lo que se ha ganado y esperemos que las víctimas, en definitiva, se organicen para que cuenten pues la verdad, ni más ni menos.
Well, Carlos says, well, that is the idea, and that's why we are here. And we hope that let's keep talking about the situation with you, and this way he will be able to share with you, hopefully, good news about Spain, and you can share to all the people that is listening to you. And let's do things together because people need to know.
I'm going to make sure that I more active in the Facebook group, the Association of Victims group, try to make some friends in there and find out, is that where you guys have most of your conversations? Is there somewhere else where you kind of talk?
Well, ella dice que va a tratar de estar más metida en el tema de Facebook, donde está el grupo de asociación. Nos pregunta si ahí es el principal lugar donde nosotros nos comunicamos.
Yo creo que sí. Bueno, luego están las cosas más privadas, ¿no? Los chats ya es otra cosa, pero realmente sí. El Facebook es donde la asociación tiene más visibilidad, ¿no? Sus asociados y la gente simpatizante.
Yeah. Well, he said that yes, absolutely, you can be there and active in the Facebook place of the association, but we have different channels too, like private chats and WhatsApp, and so we can be in contact with that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out and we'll start chatting. I would love that. That would be excellent. Is there? I definitely need.
Always a Google translator if you want to talk with. with Carlos, and vice versa.
No, truly, this was such a big help to me. I know that there are a few people who do speak Spanish that I'm friends with who wanted to be able to help me. Unfortunately, the time frame just didn't work. But
Uh-huh.
there may be others who would love to reach out to Carlos, who speak more fluently, and then you wouldn't need a translator, because I would love, as long as Carlos is open to it, for whoever he wants to talk to. I want to get him out there if he wants to be out there, and whoever wants to speak, I'm more than happy to.
Absolutamente.
Yeah.
I will let him know. Ella entonces, mira, ella le gustaría obviamente mantener el contacto. Ella tenía también otros conocidos que hablaban un poco de español, pero que por horario no pudieron estar presentes. Pero hay otras personas que son eh, fluidos en español, no hay ningún problema, y que ella quiere preguntar si puede comunicarlos contigo, darles
Sí,
tu contacto para que pueda hablar contigo.
sí, sí, yes. Perfect, perfect. It's very important for all.
Awesome. Is there anything that you wanted to add before we go?
¿Quieres decir algo más para terminar?
Nada,
Closing arguments.
nada, simplemente, no, simplemente de verdad que yo por mi parte, antes de coger este caso, conocía a los testigos de Jehová de forma más académica, sí, de leerlo, de leer muchas cosas, pero es muy distinto hablar con las víctimas. Cuando hablas con ellas te cuentan tantas cosas, intentos de suicidio, etcétera, etcétera. Me he cogido el caso de forma pues muy personal, con muchas ganas, y quiero pues dejar pues estos conocimientos que yo he adquirido, intentar que ayuden, porque realmente cuando te cuentan las víctimas lo que han vivido durante muchas décadas, no podía dejar de perder la oportunidad de ayudar de algún modo, y pase lo que pase en este caso, voy a seguir haciendo.
Okay, so he said that as a closing statement, that he knew about the Jehovah's Witness, but from the academic point of view, or maybe as a viewer, but he never was in contact with a Jehovah's Witness talking about with them. But now he knows firsthand about the experiences of how it will be, how it is, the victimization that some of people are suffering, and how they need help. So he would like, or his goal right now is to use his academic knowledge, all the tools that he has, in order to help other people and make a legacy of support to the people that they know. But I mean, they can use his information in order to feel better, in order to help other people. So that is the thing that he's willing to do right now.
And we truly appreciate that from the bottom of our heart. We need people in our corner who are willing to educate us and fight for us, because we're a little behind. We've not had the education and the critical thinking skills like most people have had. So we appreciate wonderful people like Carlos. Should I say Dr. Carlos Bardavio?
Doctor o PhD, ¿cómo se dice eso?
No, but how they need to refer to you, Dr. Bardavio, Carlos, what do you like?
Yeah, I don't want to be disrespectful.
¿Cómo te gustaría que te llamaran? Porque yo te digo a ti, Dr. Bardavio, cuando te hablo. Pero ¿cómo te gustaría que hablaran de ti? ¿Cómo
A ver,
deberíamos referirnos a ti?
realmente a mí me da igual cómo me llamen mientras digan mi apellido bien. Es decir,
Okay.
Bardavio.
Okay.
Carlos o Charles, da igual.
Okay,
Doctor
I
o... Me da igual.
Ok, I will translate that. Pero lo primero que te quiero decir es lo que ella decía. Ella estaba diciendo que agradece desde el fondo de su corazón, a la ayuda de personas como tú, que están dispuestas a ocupar su información para ayudarnos, debido a que nosotros por a veces motivos no pudimos adquirir educación como la que otras personas profesionales tienen. Estamos un poco detrás de todo eso y aceptamos toda nuestra ayuda. Y te estaba preguntando cómo debería ella referirse a ti. So I translate the first part, and now I will translate to you something that he said. It's the same question that I did for him in one of my interviews, how I need to refer to you. So he said that it doesn't matter as long as we say his last name good. It's Bardavio. Okay?
Bardavio.
But
Bardavio.
Barda, that is the correct Bardavio.
Bardavio.
Exactly.
Bardavio.
Now,
Bardavio.
yeah. Now I refer to him as a Dr. Bardavio. You know, Dr.
Okay.
Bardavio is how he said. I mean, he's a very humble person, but we need to, I think that, I mean, 10 years in a thesis, in a doctoral thesis, is not a
Right. That's a
trivial
long
thing.
time.
It's 10
Right.
years, and it's not a
Yes.
6-month PhD. It's 10 years.
No.
So I do prefer to call him personally Dr. Bardavio.
Okay, thank
And
you,
I,
Mike. Thank you, Mike.
yes, and I absolutely, I should have asked. That was probably something I should have asked at the beginning. But again, I told you I'm new to this. Okay, what do you want from me?
You're right. But the important thing is that with you and me, that I know you right now, I mean, it's the first time that I see you. But maybe we can have a collaboration. I always was reluctant to make the step from English, I mean, to Spanish to English, because, I mean, it's my second language. But maybe we can do something. We have a lot of information. I'm
Absolutely.
telling you, huge amount of information in different countries through all the years, investigations and research. So
That
I will
would be
make
that would
myself
be
available
amazing.
for YouTube. Okay.
Yes. Is that what is your username on YouTube? So that way I can make sure I put it on the video.
Miguel Tower.
It is okay.
Very,
Easy
very
enough.
easy, very easy.
Very
Yeah.
easy.
Um,
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. This has been such a
Okay.
pleasure. I'm so thrilled that you spent this time with me. Thank you so much. And I hope that we'll be able to talk soon. And remember that you have a whole group of people here, XJW community, who are supporting you and cheering for you.
Okay.
It's something by myself. I mean, um, I, I will start to contact people because I'm living in Jersey, New Jersey, and I'm
Okay.
isolated for the community. I always being by my own. Okay, so maybe we
Hmm.
can we can meet.
One day.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
we'll have to start talking.
I understand all. No problem.
Okay, perfect,
Perfect,
perfect.
perfect. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
yeah.
See you
Thank you.
later. See you soon.
Yes.
And I hope you are very well all week and next week, okay? Se ríe,
I'm gonna
se ríe
try.
Mike, pero Mike, dile que yo hablo así inglés y todo el mundo me entiende, ¿eh?
No, of course, of course. We're gonna.
Thank you. All right,
Vale,
gentlemen. Bye-bye. Thank you.
vale,
Bye-bye.
thank you very
Bye
much, bye,
bye.
bye,
See you. Nos vemos,
see
Carlos.
you
Thank you
later.
so much.
Sí, hablamos
Cheers.
por WhatsApp,
Sí,
gracias,
sí. Bye
adiós,
bye.
adiós.
Take care. Bye bye.
Adios.
Adios.
Before you go, I have a few links I would like you to check out. I'm sure that Mike and Dr. Bardavio would love to speak more about what's happening in Spain with the Jehovah's Witness organization. Please be certain to reach out and show your support. I am so freaking thankful that Mike did the hard work of translation for us, and beyond appreciative that Dr. Bardavio not only took the time out of his busy schedule to speak with me, but has also helped a group of people I know needed and deserved it. The entire XJW community are cheering you on. As I said, I'll be working on a condensed video, so be on the lookout. Don't forget, your voice matters. Power to the people.